Hi, I am Shailesh sir from Pyramid Classes. So today we'll discuss about the Vedas of the ancient India. As you know, we are going through a series of lectures of ancient India, and we have covered 6 lectures. Today is the lecture 7. So today we are covering 4 Vedas, that is Rig, Yajur, and Sam, Atharva. And it will be helpful for all competitive exams and for the school students, those who are watching also. So let's go to the lessons. 4 Vedas. The first is, let me tell you what is Veda. The word Veda is derived from the root word vid, which means to know. Thus, the term Veda signifies superior knowledge. Then, the Vedic literature is divided into two parts, that is, the Shruti and the Smriti. The Shrutis are the 4 Vedas, as we know, that is Rig, Yajur, Sama, and Atharva. So why I am telling this Rig, Yajur, Sama and Atharva instead of Rig, Sama, Yajur and Atharva? Because it is the chronology of the development. Yajur Veda comes before Sam Veda, but the popular knowing is that Rig, Sam, Yajur and Atharva. So you can remember it like RYSA, Riza. So next point is the Upanishads and the Smritis are the Puranas like the Mahabharata, which includes the Bhagavad Gita also. The Upanishads are the derived from of the Veda. Next, the Vedas are probably the earliest documents of the human mind, and the texts which constitute the Vedic literature are, that means the Vedic literatures are the listening methods first and later it converted to the text. And when we are considering the Vedic literature in texts, the first one is the 4 Vedas, that is written as Samhitas, as Shamhitas, as Shamhitas. The Brahmanas, second, the Brahmanas attached to each of the Shamhitas. And the third one is the Aranyakas. So Aranyakas are basically the pupils or the disciples taught by the teachers in the jungles, and these hymns and verses are Aranyakas. Then the Upanishads. There are 108 Upanishads, and these are the described from form of the Vedas. Next, Rig Veda. Let's start Rig Veda for the first and the oldest Veda, and it is the early Vedic period, is also known as the Rig Vedic period. So, in this literatural topic, Rig Veda is regarded as the sacred text of Hinduism. According to Hinduism, it is the sacred text. It is a collection of Vedic Sanskrit hymns. What is hymns and what is verses? I will tell you later. Vedic Sanskrit hymns. The Rig Veda is further divided into 10 parts known as mandalas. The Rig Veda is further divided into 10 parts known as mandalas. This is very important for your question point of view. Rig Veda has a collection of 10,600 verses and 1028 hymns. It is also important that the things I have marked in the color red, that these are all important. It is the oldest text in any Indo-European language. The Rig Veda is the oldest text in any Indo-European language. Then its origin can be dated back to 1700 to 1100 BC. Many verses of the Rig Veda are still being used as a very significant part of Hindu prayers and rituals. The prayers and rituals we even follow today is based upon the Rig Veda. Next, as per the Rig Vedic hymns, the entire universe has originated from Prajapati, which is known as Brahma popularly. So, Prajapati Brahma is the creator of the world as we consider it in Hinduism. So, he is also compared to the Zeus in Greek mythology. In Greek mythology, Zeus is superior as a Brahma or Prajapati in Hinduism, and this forms the principal basis. Of creation. Srishtikarta. Brahma is known as the Srishtikarta. Then the second point is the hymns. The hymns are known as the suktas, which are generally used in rituals. Rituals, that means which we are following in our sacrifices, in our day-to-day sacrifices, in our puja, and other celebrations when we are offering our devotion towards God. So we are doing the rituals. Indra, that is Devraj, popularly known, is the chief deity. Deity means the god. That is the king of kingdom of heaven. स्वर्ग के जो किंग होते हैं वो इंद्र को बोला जाता है. तो इंद्र इज द चीफ deity or the king of kingdom of heaven, cited in the hymns of Rig Veda. The sky god is known as Varuna, fire god is Agni, and the sun god Surya were some of other chief deities mentioned in the Rig Veda. There is a lot of emphasis on Lord Shiva in the Rig Veda. It is very important for the exam point of view. The Shiva has the higher importance in Rig Vedic case than that of the Vishnu. Vishnu is known as the preservator. Vishnu was treated as minor deity in Rig Vedic case. So it is very essential to know for the exam point of view. Next, now we can see here mandala, hymns and verses. As I have told you, Rig Veda has 10 mandalas. 10 mandalas mean 10 parts. And hymns, what are hymns? Hymns, that is a religious song or poem of praise to God. We are having prayers to God. We are saying our prayers to God through a poem or in a rhythmic form. The poem is hymn, and the verses that we are using, the rhythmic form, is known as verses. So, Mandala 1 is of 191 hymns and of 2006 verses, and likewise, you can watch here and can remember here, or can make a screenshot here to remember these. All these numbers are not important, but you need to know the totaling 1028 and 10552 verses, and roughly it is 10,600 verses. Next is the mandalas of Rig Veda. Each Veda is a collection of hymns by a number of praised families. Rig Veda is also organized in 10 books that is called as mandalas. I have already discussed it. The first and 10th mandalas are the youngest and the longest books. You remember this point is important. The first and 10th mandala, the first one and the last one, is the longest book. The second to seventh, that means from second to seventh, second to second to seventh, that is means double I to V double I mandalas are oldest parts of the Rig Veda. That means these are created at the earliest time. But the shortest books and the 8th and 9th books are mixed ages. That means 8th और 9th के जो बुक है वो मिक्स करके है, मतलब लॉन्गेस्ट शॉर्टेस्ट का मिक्स करके है. नेक्स्ट, the famous this slide is the most important slide that I am when the slides I am covering, this is the most important slide for you. Every point is a question. The famous Gayatri mantra is in Rig Veda mandala 3, that means third mandala. The first word of Rig Veda is Agni, that is in the hymn in 1.1 is addressed to Agni. The 10th mandala contains the Purusha Sukta, which explains the four Varnas that were born from the mouth, arms, thighs, and feet of the Brahma or Purusha. It is said to have been added later. So Mandala 9 is completely devoted to Soma. This is a very important question and asked many times in the exam. Nasadya Sukta, which talks about the origin of the universe, is in the 10th mandala. So this is also a particular question that has been asked in the SSC exam previously. Nasadya Sukta, which talks about the origin of the universe, is in the 10th mandala. Next, Yajur Veda, the second one, the Vedic collection of sacrificial prayers, that is Yajus, used by the Athavaryu priest. The priest, those who are following the Yajur Veda earlier time, these are known as Athavaryu. And of the four Vedas, it most reflects the Vedic sacrifice in its ritual character. Rituals are mainly, when there is a word ritual, then it comes to Yajur Veda. The Yajur Veda prescribes the procedures to be adopted at the time of performing different sacrifices. Three Yajur Veda has two major divisions. You remember the two major divisions. The first one is Black Yajur Veda, and the second one is White Yajur Veda. As you know, there are two things in a month, that is Krishna Paksha and Shukla Paksha. So likewise, it is known as Black Yajur Veda and White Yajur Veda. Black Yajur Veda is dedicated to Krishna, and White Yajur Veda is dedicated to Shukla, existing in two versions. The term black implies the unarranged collection of verses, in contrast to the white, which implies the well arranged clear verses of Yajurveda. In the context of Yajurveda, the questions arises of Satapatha Brahman. Let me tell you something about that. The Krishna Yajurveda includes the Brahmana prose discussions within the Samhita, while the Shukla Yajurveda has separately a Brahmana text, that is the Satapatha Brahmana. The questions are very frequent from these Satapatha Brahmana. So the Shukla Yajurveda has two branches. Next point, the Shukla Yajurveda has two branches, that is Vasanai Madhyanidiya and Vasnanei Kanva. So Bhajasanai Madhyanidiya is originally of Mithila and Vasanei Kanva is of originally Kosala. So these are the two kingdoms that you know, Mithila and Kosala in the ancient times, and these are dedicated to that, the ritual forms, and you can remember from here I have written it in red color. There is one Brahman of Yajurveda, that is Satapatha Brahman. This is very important. This is very important, as I have told you, you can remember it. Okay, Satpath Brahman, this thing is very important. Next, Krishna Yajurveda has four shakhas. In English, it is known as recensions. In exam, you will find that word recension. So Taittiriya Samhita, that is a Panchala. This is best known as the preserved shakha. The question can be asked, that is the best known preserved shakha, that is the Taittiriya Samhita. And the another one is Maitrani Samhita of Kurukshetra, Charaka Katha Samhita of Madra or Kurukshetra, Kapisthala Katha Samhita of Southern Punjab of Bahika. So these four are most important sakhas of Yazur, Krishna Yajurveda. Next, Samveda. The third one is Samveda. It is also called as the book of prayers or the storehouse of knowledge of chants. It is a mixture of poetry and verse. The poetries are there and the verses are there. The Samveda consists of 1549 unique verses. This is the only question can be asked about Samveda and taken from Rig Veda. Only 75 verses which are newly added to the Samveda, but the most 1549 unique verses are there. Those are taken from Rig Veda. Then let's go to Atharvaveda. Samveda is mainly related to the chanting, music, dance, etc. Atharvaveda, it is mainly related with the medical science, the diseases control, and the removal of the evil power. So black magic normally occurs in the Atharvaveda. It is the knowledge storehouse. I am covering the first point. It is the knowledge storehouse of Atharva as the procedures for everyday life. It is known as the procedures of for everyday life. It was a late addition to the Vedas in later Vedic age. Question can be asked, which is lastly added in the Vedas in the latter Vedic age, that is the Atharvedas. The Atharveda is composed in Vedic Sanskrit literature and has 730 hymns. You can remember it here. 730 hymns with about 6,000 mantras, which have been divided into 20 books. It is also called Brahmadeva. This is a unique point that I am covering here. No one will tell you. It is also called Brahmadeva. So Mundak Upanishad and Mandukya Upanishad are embedded in the Atharvaveda. It describes the popular benefits and superstitions of the humble folk. It contains charms and spells in verses as black magic to ward off diseases and evils. So when the term diseases and evils arise, then you simply just remember that is Atharvaveda. Then let's have some questions on Vedas. So the first one is the most commonly mentioned God in Rig Veda. I want all of you to answer these four questions in the comment box. So in the comment box after the lesson, I will answer after half an hour the answers, but I want all of you to answer four questions in the comment box. The most commonly mentioned God in Rig Veda is whom? Which mandal of the Rig Veda used the word Shudra for the first time? So you can answer now. Yes. And the next question is, which book of the latter Vedic age divided the country into five parts? And the fourth one is, which is the most mentioned river in the Rig Veda? These are some a bit of questions. if these questions will be asked in the exam, you need to answer, and I want you answer these 4 questions in the comment box below. Thank you for watching this lesson. I'll be meeting with you in a new session tomorrow. Till then, have a nice study, and do like, share and subscribe our channel below. Thank you for watching.